What's going on, guys? My name is Pretty, and at long last, welcome back to another episode of Perk Analysis. So if you are new around here, this is the series where I take a look back at every single perk Call of Duty Zombies has come to offer us. I'm going to be breaking them down, telling you guys exactly what they do, and telling you guys some interesting trivia along the way. So today, we're going to be covering PhD Flopper. So PhD Flopper cost 2,000 points and was one of the first new perks to be introduced after the 4 original perks alongside Stamina. PhD Flopper was introduced in Ascension and appears in Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, Moon, Cell Block, and for the Wonder Fizz machine in Origins. PhD Flopper also appears in Die Rise and Mob of the Dead, but are inaccessible as sort of a troll by Treyarch. Finally, PhD Flopper also appears as a persistent perk in Buried. It is earned after taking a set amount of fall damage and will have the same effects as a regular perk, except you will down from holding a grenade for too long, something that the regular perk would protect you from. Alright guys, now let's finally get into what PhD Flopper actually does. So PhD Flopper negates all self-inflicted damage, which essentially means that you can protect yourself from the ray gun splash damage, grenade launcher damage, cook grenades, and fall damage. The second thing that PhD does is that if you dive to prone or dolphin dive from an elevated position that would normally cause you fall damage, you create a 7.5 meter radius explosion upon landing. The explosion you create is very powerful, with a maximum of 5,000 damage at the center of the blast. The blast can also kill zombies with one hit up to approximately round 20. Between rounds 20 to 30, the blast starts to make crawlers, and finally after round 30, it will take multiple explosions to kill a zombie. A few things to know about PhD is that it is considered an explosive weapon kill, so you can only earn 50 points per zombie if you choose to kill him by the explosion. Another thing to know is that if you flop on top of a group of zombies, the explosion might not trigger correctly, which usually ends with you going down. Alright guys, so now that we're done with all the facts about PhD Flopper, let's move on to some trivia. The name PhD Flopper is a parody of the popular soft drink Dr. Pepper. PhD Flopper is made from prunes. The prunes are not a liquid but are in chunks, with some characters complaining about having to eat the drink.
Prunes? Chewy! I might need to wash this down with Nikolai's vodka.
Ugh, chewing ain't something that I usually like to do with my beverages.
In Moon, diving to prone will not trigger the explosion in low gravity areas, as the explosion is made when diving to prone from a height that would normally hurt the player, and there is no fall damage in low gravity areas. Even though the player needs to dive to prone to initiate the explosive effect of the perk, one exception to this is when the player goes prone on the flinger and is flung to the other side, which activates the explosion upon landing. In Cell Block, the bottles for PhD Flopper retain their older Black Ops model, not featuring the perk's logo around the neck of the bottle. However, this is corrected in Origins. And finally, in Origins, when the player dives to prone using PhD, if the player has a Staff of Lightning, the explosion will electrocute the zombies.
Burn in the fires of hell!
If the player has a Staff of Fire, the explosion will set the zombies on fire.
Burn in the flames of eternal damnation!
If the player has a Staff of Ice, the explosion will freeze the zombies for a short period of time.
You're broken like a dry twig. This beast continues to attack.
And if the player has a Staff of Wind, the explosion will stun the zombies for a short period of time.
Oh, it crawls on its belly like a beast from the field. I am sure that death must...
Alright guys, that was all of the trivia for PhD Flopper, but I do want to put one little side note. It's not really trivia, but really what is going to be happening with PhD Flopper in the future. So as I talked about in this video, and you guys could really pick up on the fact that flopping and using that explosion to your advantage is like really good. That's like really good if you run out of ammo, and that whole flopping thing is like can be the difference between staying alive and, you know, going down. So in Black Ops 3 Zombies, or in Black Ops 3 in general, we can tell in the multiplayer gameplay that we have and the Zombies trailer that there is no more flopping. It was replaced by sliding, so now here is a debate about what is going to be happening with PhD Flopper. So we do not have a definite answer to what will be happening with PhD Flopper in the future. You know, there's lots of theories going around, different stuff, how PhD Flopper will be nerfed and stuff like that, that the whole sliding animation will be the new way for the explosion to be caused. I honestly do not know, but I threw this in here as a sort of interesting thing to talk about, and also because I will be making a whole new video about this in the future, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of another Perk Analysis video. If you guys did enjoy it, then don't forget to drop a like down below. Also subscribe for more zombies videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.